A smart home hub is one of the most important devices needed in a smart home today, and Zigbee is one of the most common protocols used for how smart devices communicate with each other in your smart home. However, because of Matter, which is the latest protocol that is now being used and becoming very popular at a fast rate, it is now required that you have a hub that not only supports Zigbee, but also offers support for Matter as well. And Zemismart have just released another one. As you may already know, Zemismart already have a Zigbee hub that is not only of course designed for Zigbee devices, but also for Matter as well. It's called the M1, and here it is. It was and still is a great device. But if you're comparing the older M1 hub to this new one, the M6 Smart Matter Zigbee hub, what changes have actually been made? Well, that's a great question, and a lot, because they're actually two completely different devices, and in today's video, I'm going to show you why. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hello and welcome to the channel, and I hope you like today's video. If you like smart home and automotive technology content, then hit that subscribe button because that's what you're going to see on this channel. Now, approximately 10 months ago, a lot of the followers of this channel may have seen my review for the Zemismart M1 Hub. The M1 was Zemismart's introduction to Matter. It was a hub that could support not only Zigbee devices, but also all Matter over Wi-Fi and Thread devices as well. Well, now Zemismart have released a new and more powerful version of the M1 Hub. Okay, that statement is not 100% correct. In fact, it's not correct at all. However, that is what you might be thinking about the product that I'm going to be reviewing today. So yes, in today's video, I'm reviewing Zemismart's latest gateway hub, and it's called the M6. Now, when looking at the M6, if you are already familiar with the M1, you will notice that the M6 looks basically identical to the M1, which is this hub up here. The shape is the same, the size is the same, it still connects to your router using a wired Ethernet cable, which is of course the most stable and reliable way to set up a device like this. And as always, Zemismart include the Ethernet cable in the box with the USB-C cable as well. Because just like the M1, the M6 is also USB-C powered. Next to the USB-C port, we also have the reset switch, which is again located in the same position as the M1. So by now it's obvious that the plastic housing of the M6 is also used for the M1. And hey, why not? However, next to the reset switch on the M6 is now where things start to change. Because unlike the M1, the M6 has now been designed to use an external antenna. So because the M6 uses an external antenna, this means it can provide a larger and more powerful signal for other smart devices in your home to connect and communicate together with each other. This is actually one huge difference if you're comparing the M6 to the M1, which as you can see just uses an internal antenna design instead. The M6 also runs on different software as well, as you would expect, but this is because the functionality of the M6 is completely different than the M1. Now, if you're thinking, does an external antenna really make a huge difference? Well, yes, it does, and especially with the M6, because it's said to have a signal range coverage of well over 300 meters. That's without too many barriers getting in its way, of course. In a very large-sized multi-story house, you will be amazed by the difference it can make, because the signal that is being produced from the M6 is now more powerful and stronger, and so now it has the ability to travel through and around more obstacles than before, such as walls and through higher level floors, making the overall coverage larger. And equally as important as that, the external antenna also ensures the signal is going to be more stable as well, and that is extremely crucial. If you have ever used a hub with an internal antenna before, and you have a large multi-story home, then you have probably, like me, experienced stability problems before at some stage. And so you will understand how important a stable signal in your smart home really is. There is nothing worse than coming home, parking in front of your garage, and then saying, "Hey Google, open the garage door." And it doesn't open due to poor signal range at that moment. It's always worse on rainy days as well. You smart homeowners will know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, aside from the external antenna, this is now where things really start to change for the M6. And to be honest, comparing the M6 to the M1 is definitely not the best way to review this device at all, because they are two completely different devices. Aside from being designed as a Matter compatible hub, which the M6 is, it interestingly enough, unlike the M1, does not have direct support to actually add Matter devices to it at all. The M6 has been designed with a strong and main focus on supporting the Zigbee protocol, which yes is still one of the most popular and common protocols being used in the smart home world today. However, if you want to compare the M6 to the M1, in a lot of ways it has been downgraded because the M1 also supports the adding of Matter over Wi-Fi and Thread devices as well. And from my experience, it works very well. So how would I personally describe what the M6 is? Well, it's an updated version of a Zigbee hub. And it is still a Matter compatible device, yes, but not to the point where a Matter supported device can be directly added and used with it. If that confuses you, then let me explain it in another way. The M6 is a high-powered Zigbee hub, and thanks to its Matter compatibility, it can also be linked to your existing Matter-based smart home setup, unlike a non-Matter compatible Zigbee hub, which cannot. This M6 Zigbee hub is of course based on Zigbee 3.0, which is still the current and latest Zigbee standard. But if you have smart devices in your home that are using other protocols, such as Bluetooth, Z-Wave, Thread, or Matter over Wi-Fi, these devices cannot be added directly to the M6 hub because they are not Zigbee devices, and so therefore are not supported by the M6. The M6 does also support other platforms as well, such as Google, Apple HomeKit, SmartThings, and more. And of course, it can also be used with the Tuya or Smart Life apps. A common question I often get asked is, how many devices can a gateway hub support before you will start to experience problems with your network? Well, the M6 will support up to 125 smart devices directly. Now, Matter supported devices can, technically speaking, be added as well, but a Matter certified border router is required to do this, which the M6 here is not. If you keep up to date with the technology world, and yes, I totally understand that it's not an easy thing to do these days, but if you try, then you may have noticed that due to the Matter protocol now growing bigger and becoming more popular, which was totally expected to happen, a lot of the latest internet routers that are available now are also Matter certified. So this means they will also support Matter over Wi-Fi and Thread. So this may be something worth adding to your Christmas list, as if you have a large smart home, you could seriously benefit from that. It's definitely been added to my Christmas list, so Santa, if you're listening, I've been really good this year. Anyway, so now I'm going to give you an example of how easy it is to set up the M6, and I'll start by adding it to the Tuya app. Okay, so adding the M6 to the Tuya app is incredibly easy, and that's because the Zemismart M6 is a Matter compatible hub. So that means just like adding any other Matter device, the M6 can also be added the easy way, which is by simply scanning the Matter QR code, which can be found on the bottom of the device or on the instruction manual itself. Alright, so let's add the M6 to the Tuya app. With the M6 powered up and connected to your router using the Ethernet cable, the first thing you want to do is put the M6 into pairing mode. So to do that, you need to hold down the reset switch for approximately 5 seconds. So put it into the hole there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until the pairing LED starts flashing, like it is now. With the Tuya app open, you now just click on the plus symbol in the top corner. Then you click on scan, and now you simply just scan the QR code with the device. And after a few seconds, the hub will have been paired to the app.
I found human presence sensor from the Tuya Smart skill. To set up a routine triggered by human presence sensor,
So pairing the M6 to the app is really easy, and as you have now seen, the M6 was discovered and added to the app quickly. Now for the next job, pairing a device to the M6 hub itself. I'm just going to use this device for the demonstration, which is a Tuya human presence sensor. And yes, it is of course a Zigbee device. So to add a Zigbee device to the hub, we first need to put the device into pairing mode. So with this device, that hopefully will mean just plugging it in and it should go into pairing mode by itself. And as you can see, the LED is flashing fast, so we're now in pairing mode. We now go into the M6 Hub in the app. We then choose sub-device. We tap on add sub-device. And after a few seconds, the Zigbee device will have been discovered and added to your app through the M6 Hub. So now when another smart home device in your smart home needs to communicate with the Zigbee device, it will go through the M6 Hub to do that. So just like adding the M6 Hub to your app, adding a Zigbee device to the M6 Hub is also really quick and easy to do with the M6 as well. And so now everything is set up and ready to use. One other feature that the M6 Hub supports, as I have mentioned earlier, is sharing sub-devices with other platforms. So to set this up, you go into the settings of the M6, you come down to Share Through Matter Gateway, and you copy that code. Now, for example, if you go into the Google Home app, select Devices, select Add, select Matter Enabled Device, and then come down to Set Up Without QR Code. Now you simply paste that code into the text box. Now any of the Zigbee devices you add as sub-devices through the M6 Hub in the your app can now also be accessed and controlled by Google as well through the hub. This feature is not only incredibly convenient to set up through this method, but it also adds a lot more functionality to your smart home as well. And lastly, I will also add that the M6 does also support OTA remote updates as well. OTA standing for over-the-air updates, which ensures that your M6 is always kept up to date with the latest software when new updates become available, providing you have this automated feature enabled, of course. This is also a feature that is also supported with the M1 as well. And just to answer one more common question I get asked a lot. No, the M6 Hub is not usable if your internet connection goes down. When this happens, you will have no access to any of the sub-devices you have added directly through the hub itself. Generally, if you added a Zigbee device through the M6 Hub, it would also get added as a standalone device to the your app separately from the hub as well. So the device can still be controlled directly through the app, but without an internet connection, it can no longer be controlled over the network with the hub or any other smart devices in your home, including your voice assistant. So therefore, any automations that have been set up will no longer continue to work when there is no internet connection. Anyway guys, that is how the latest M6 Hub from Zemismart works. And as you have seen, just like the M1, it's very easy to set up and use. If you're already using a Zigbee hub and are looking for a stronger and more stable signal from it, then the M6 will probably give that to you. But if you intend on using the M6 with any non-Zigbee smart devices directly, including Matter devices, remember that these are not going to work with the M6. With the M1, I personally find the signal strength of it more than powerful enough for my tiny little smart home, and therefore I have never had any problems with it at all. If you don't already have a Matter supported hub at all, and want one, which every smart homer is going to need eventually, due to the fast rate that Matter is growing at, then just remember, as I have now explained, the M6 is not an upgraded version of the M1. It is a completely different device with less functionality, but it is a very good device. And you would expect that being a Zemismart product. So therefore, I can recommend it. Looking towards the future expansion of my smart home, I personally think I could benefit strongly from the higher powered signal range of the M6, even without the direct Matter support. And the reason for that is because you're forgetting about one very important thing, and that is, whoever said you can only use one hub in your smart home? I personally am currently using 4. And now with the M6, I have a higher powered Zigbee hub to replace one of my others. And not only that, it can also be linked and interfaced into my existing Matter compatible smart home, which is great because I can't do that with my other Zigbee hubs at all. So I'm feeling good about adding the M6 into my smart home family. Anyway guys, that is now going to bring us to the end of another video. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I will leave links to Zemismart's website in the description below to where you can purchase the M6 Hub from, and where you can also check out Zemismart's large range of other great smart home devices as well. If you enjoyed watching this video or you found it helpful, then please like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, where you can watch even more videos, which I upload every week, and I hope to see you all in the next video.